Pratyusha ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we start?
Yes, sir. You can, sir. It's on live.
Pratyusha ma'am, please start. Over to you.
Good afternoon, all. This is Ms. Pratyusha, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management. Here I am to offer a warm welcome to all for joining the session this afternoon. Being in an unprecedented situation like this, where all of us are going teaching and learning online, here we join in a virtual webinar on startup mantras for educators through effective research and innovation, facilitated by Nagarjuna College of Management Studies. I feel pleasure to be the part of the webinar, for we have with us a resource person for the session, Dr. Sharan Kumar Shetty, Associate Professor and Member of Governing Council, MSN Institute of Management, Financial Advisor, Motivational Speaker, and many more. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm grateful to welcome Professor Manohar Naraji, Director, Nagarjuna Education Society in absentia. I'm also glad to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Anandama N, for the session. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I further extend my greetings to Professor Kusuma, Head of the Department, Commerce and Management, and Professor Aruna, Head of the Department, Science, for your gracious presence. Welcome you both.
Thank you, ma'am.
I extend a warm welcome to all the teaching fraternities for making time to join us, the webinar by Nagarjuna College of Management Studies. I now request Professor Kiran Kumar to present the audio-visual clippings of the college.
Founded in 1995 by Sri J.V. Rangaraju, Nagarjuna Group of Institutions has emerged as an epitome of educational excellence and has stood the test of time ever since. We stand strong on the pillars of academic professionalism and educational distinction. We have 6 institutions under our umbrella, covering a student's life from childhood to adulthood. Nagarjuna Vidyaniketan, 2 Nagarjuna Pre-University Colleges, Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology, Nagarjuna Degree College, and Nagarjuna College of Management Studies. With more than 10,000 students, nurtured by 1,000 plus exceptional faculty. At Nagarjuna, we focus not just on academic development, but also on a student's overall growth. Our lush green 100-acre campus offers an environment conducive to learning. Our sterling infrastructure is equipped with modern amenities, well-equipped labs, smart classrooms, Wi-Fi enabled campus, indoor and outdoor sports center, gymnasiums, cafeteria, hostels. At Nagarjuna, we always aim to create experiences with our learning process. Many activities, events, seminars, workshops, and fests are organized on campus to enhance the overall development of the students. We offer a number of UG courses in the streams of commerce, management, and science. With a combination of highly qualified faculty, state-of-the-art infrastructure, and modern learning systems, we ensure that every student gets the best out of their careers. The training begins right from the first year with the campus corporate program. We strongly believe in practical understanding of domains, and so we pay special attention to industry visits. Our management college, NCMS, provides excellent facilities for higher education. We focus on honing the skills and interests of students with specialized courses. We focus on skill enhancement and the overall development of students with additional mentorship programs. At NCMS, our main goal is to equip students with additional abilities.
College also provides us with exciting opportunities like internship and placement that helps us to understand the modern and corporate world better.
With a mission to impart quality knowledge, Nagarjuna Group of Institutions is best choice for higher education.
I now request Professor Meena, Department of Commerce, to introduce the resource person for the session.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope I'm audible. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker, Dr. Sharan Kumar Shetty, who is going to talk to us about the startup mantras for educators through research and innovation. He is an award-winning professionalist who has specialized in various fields of financial sectors. A dynamic career of a dynamic career of decades, an arc that reflects rich Indian and overseas experience and year-on-year success in teaching, training, research, and educational leadership. Dr. Shetty is a trainer for financial markets and conducted numerous training programs in national and international platforms. Started career in Annexure as a subject matters expert and moved to Malaysia to continue his further academic service. He has undertaken various international assignments in Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Philippines, Vietnam, and Thailand. He holds the credit of training executives of top Indian and foreign banks like ICICI, Axis, RBL, and HSBC. Dr. Shetty presented various research papers in national and international journals, and he is also an editorial board member of several international publication houses. Dr. Shetty has been associated with many top institutions in India and abroad, as a governing council member and also a member of Board of Studies. He is an inspirational speaker and delivered many programs in radios and television channels. One of his milestones, a founder and financial advisor of Sahyadari Capital Advisor LLP, a very first startup established by itself in the Department of Business Administration. Dr. Sharan is really a renowned personality. He is we are great honor to have him here for this webinar. I request Dr. Sharan to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the head of the institution, the principal, the management, the faculty members, and my dear friends. It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of your institution today. I hope the slide is visible. I'm audible perfectly.
Yes, sir. You're
Yeah.
audible and the screen is visible.
Slide is okay. Okay, screen is visible, right? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much. This particular webinar, which I'm going to talk to you all, this is from my experience point of view. I'm not going to talk any rocket science in it. So a simple way, as a faculty, being a faculty who is responsible for the students who are, because if you see, we create entrepreneurs, we create professionals, but while creating professionals, we are having that the skills which the professionals, or what we call it as entrepreneurs, we have the what we call it as the skill sets, the professionalism what we have is greater than them, so that we people have not identified so far. So today this particular webinar will give you the clear picture as to what extent we can spread the fragrance of startups in the institution. I heard about Nagarjun College a lot. Some of my friends are also working. Dr. Harish is a close friend of mine. Dr. Harish Babu, he joined as a director in the Department of MBA. So we generally talk about why cannot faculty members come up with the startup initiatives. That is the agenda. That is the main what we call it as the goal of we ourselves. Startup mantras for educators through effective research and innovation. I'm not going to go deep into research now, because let me give the basics, the fundamentals of what are the attributes we need to have, how I started, and how you can take it forward in a small way so that it will become in a large extent in the institute. And so that whenever these ranking agencies, whenever these accreditation agencies, when they come, let them feel the quality of the students. Why? Because faculty themselves are the educators, or faculty themselves are they are the entrepreneurs, they are the startup owners. So that creation has to be made. See, when I talk about this, people might think, how can we start startups? How can we start companies? How can we start firms? So there is no big deal at all. I will tell you, when I started the first company called Agendar in Malaysia, and it is talking about because we are completely into HR consulting services like training, development, recruitment, and all that. Because I have initiated through the students from the different countries. Like we had students from Africa, we had students from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, we had students from Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, all that. See, what I thought is there is a potential. You believe it or not, that companies are still running in a great way. So that is why this, I hope today's session will give you some GAN to you all, the faculty, the students, whoever joined, the researchers, especially the researchers. Why can't we take our research into like our startup and research connectivity? Because why we have to study about what we call it as a study on insurance, a study on health insurance with related to National Insurance Corporation? Why can't we study about I think some I can see something happening in this
Yes, sir. I'm
slide
sorry to interrupt,
presentation.
sir. Sir, can you please
Sir,
disable
you have an option there called as more. When you go to the more option, you can find something called as disable annotations for all.
Yes, it is there, sir. It is there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I have done it because I had to erase this, I think, right? Now I have to go and
Yes, sir.
go on. I can erase this, not an issue. I can erase this. I will
Yes.
erase it. I'm
Yes.
erasing it. Oh, no, it is not happening. Wait. Erase.
Clear all. You have an option called as clear all.
Yes, it's that, right, sir? It's okay, right, sir?
Yes. And you have an option to disable the annotation.
Okay, that's I have done that. Disable thing I have done already.
Okay, sir.
It's disabled, sir. You can see here it is disabled already.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Sorry,
See,
sir.
now this button is disabled already. Okay, I think some intelligent people, they already started their startup now. I don't know. Okay, the painting. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. See, that is the motto of we academicians. Academicians always, we are great. So startup mantras, let us go ahead one by one. See, I have taken these points into consideration. I have not put any kind of a big kind of a data or a research or something like that. I am talking from my own perspective, how these thoughts will help you in order to come up with as the startup form. I will give my journey later in the third stage. I will tell you what happened, how did I start, what are the documentation required, and all that. In a later stage, I will tell you. So what are the things I'm going to talk? Motivational thoughts that shows that we are the real entrepreneurs. We are means we faculty members are the real entrepreneurs, because we are creating professionals, we are creating entrepreneurs. That blood that has gone from our own breath, actually, because of our breath, people, because that some students are identifying that because of this teacher, because of that faculty, today what I am today, that is because of that faculty. Some students know, they will come back and tell, these are the points which made you to grow. When I get those things these days in Instagram, Facebook, and all that, sir, because of your motivational speech, because of your motivational words, today I am a great entrepreneur. There are people internationally, nationally. So I will tell you some of them in a later stage. So what happened to them, how they started, what inspired them to start that. Because see, there are some quotes I will show you, then I will move further. Motivational thoughts. We are the real entrepreneurs. I will give the introduction to startup. I will give a couple of examples of startup and the best startup which is motivating, which is an inspiration to all of us. My journey, because I'm not a great man, but I'm telling you, I'm also a simple ordinary faculty, but I can start it. Why can't you? Why can't you start? Because these days the mantra is all about startup incubations. You may be knowing the one of the institutions which I collaborate, Nitte University, they have Atal Incubation Center. Even I worked with them. See, this is the great, that will make a great way of learning environment in the institute. My journey, need for startups by the educators, startup steps and documentation required. I will tell you a simple documentation process. I'm not going to tell you the rocket science of it. If you want to know further, you can talk to me offline if at all you need any further information. What are the challenges and opportunities, and focus on research and innovation. So this is must. As I told you, my dear friends, see, with the research innovation, that will definitely add value to your startup. See, if at all you want to do your research, do research with your startup. That will make good, what we call, that itself is a great research. It's what we call it as a pure research. I can talk. When we talk in management and commerce, people are talking, oh, we are not into pure research, we are into applied research. When it will become pure research in management and commerce, if you apply, if you start your own startup, through that you do your research. See, people say first you do some survey and then you start the firm. That is also okay. That is also fine. But you should do your research based on the startup what you are planning. That is what is very, very important. I will tell you going forward one by one what do you mean by that. So this is the one, this particular thought which I have been using for more than 20 years as my signature. Because see, this is what is very important these days. We talk about here the good institute. People are not coming up as entrepreneurs. They just join an institution or company to perform their duties or to earn their day-to-day, live their life the best. But there is something in the faculty that they have to spread. What is that? The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. This is what I really wanted. The inspiration of a teacher that makes you to become what you want. I will give my own example. See, when I was in 6th standard, there was a teacher who joined to our school. Because of her, the way she was teaching, the way she was handling the class, that motivated me. She is the inspiration for me to become a teacher. Those days I used to play a teacher's game. See, today I'm a teacher. Even though a lot of struggles, I have become a teacher. See, that kind of a motivation, that kind of inspiration, we have to inculcate, we have to make our students to understand. See, we have to feel that, because when we talk about startups, we are creating students to come up as a startup firm. Before that, we ourselves have to create that environment in the campus. It can be small setup. Don't register for some time. Just to see, make it a, what we call it as, make a professional way. For example, stock broking firm, a small firm, but you're not registering. Later you're registering if you find it very, very, very smooth to move. And an insurance department, an insurance company, a small company, for example, Nagarjun XY and company. And for then some marketing, digital marketing company. See, these companies are run by your own students. That is an inspiration. I'm just giving a thought on that. See, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. Why can't we inspire? This is given by William Arthur Ward. You might have heard about it. The great thought to all we teachers, because teaching is not the job of we people. Research also to be there. Also, you have to incorporate this startup, because so that what we can do, that we can get some extra income. We can get into some kind of a collaboration with the people. Next, the best. Just close this. The best education is not given to the students. It is drawn out of them. That is what I told you, my dear friends. The best education is not to give to the students. You should make out, you have to draw out of them. What do you mean by this? See, when I continued my Capital Advisors LLP, you believe it or not, because my main purpose of mine starting that company is to give the practical knowledge to the students, at the same time make the students to go out and market the products, at the same time let them invest in the market, so that the reality, some of my students, they got job in Goldman Sachs, Amber Research, JP Morgan. The reason behind this is actually after their class they come and sit in the firm, that is the startup firm. They understand, they learn. You believe it or not, there are three people, they have opened their own broking house under the franchise system of Prabhudas Leeladhar, Goswal, what we call it, Oswal, Motilal Oswal. See, these are, because this is what is a real this is what is a real education. Education is not just you give to the students, you earn salary and go back. That is not the real education. Education must be felt through what? through the research and innovation. How can you make research out of it? It is just a simple research. You apply that to the students. You teach that. You just explain that to the students how to come up in that. The best education is not given to students. It is drawn out of them. Please understand that great word given by Gerald Balcher. He says that education is nothing but it should be drawn out of them, not you should give to them. That is what the faculty members have to be the facilitator, not the teacher. They should facilitate what is happening in Indian Institute of Management, what is happening in IITs, what is happening in NITKs. Because that is the reason, if you do the survey, many of them are come up as the entrepreneur. So don't think, oh, my students are degree students, UG students, my students are, I know that some of the degree faculty members also here. I hope this particular session will definitely help them at least to start a model of business in the institution. So that is why I want to repeat again this particular sentence, because the very, very heart-touching words these are. The best education is not given to students, it is drawn out of them. Gerald Belcher says that. The great, again, one more great word, teaching is the essential profession, the one that makes all professionals possible. So you all aware, that is why we are the great people in the society. Whomever you talk about the prime minister, you talk about the pilot, you talk about the doctor, you talk about the engineer, you talk about all these great people, Dr. Abdul Kalam. There are great people in the society. They serve the society. That is because of the great teacher. That is why Dr. Abdul Kalam always says, whatever he was earlier, that is because of his teacher. That is, everything is inspired by the teacher. See, that has to be, you have to touch that through the research and innovation. See, always you think research is what here? Research is just go to the laboratory, do some search and all that. That is applicable to the science. But management research is, this is what is the real research. Understand, apply, and that should come out in the societies. That should help the society. That is why teaching is the essential profession, the one that makes all professionals possible. Please understand, this is a very important, heart-touching words. Now let me go to the startup things. I am going to give you the simple definition of what is a startup. Then I'll go and talk about my own experience about it. Because when I talk about point of my experience, what will happen? It will add value. Let me not talk about others' experience, but I will show you a couple of things how they could make it all that. A startup is a company or project undertaken by an entrepreneur to seek, develop, and validate a scalable economic model, while entrepreneurship refers to all new businesses, including self-employment and businesses that never intended to become registered. Startups refers to the businesses that intended to grow large beyond the solo founder. At the beginning, startups face high uncertainty. Everybody knows about it, and have high rates of failures. There are a lot of failures, but a minority of them do go on to be successful and influential. Some startups become a unicorn, that is privately held startup companies valued at over $1 billion. Please understand, the best example for this is Byju's. You all ever, I'm going to give you that thought, because he himself was a teacher. How could he make use of it? See, today people are facing lot of problems. Even face to face, we are into lot of struggles. But the person who started this being a teacher, because he has identified the problem in something. See, that is his research, and then he has innovated it. See, that is what we call it as innovation. That is why I will tell you here some example. Recently, I have published a paper, Women Entrepreneurship in Mangalore. That is actually women entrepreneurship. I have interviewed around 55 women entrepreneurs in Mangalore. I will tell you, if you just want to go to, you can just check that. I can share the link with you. I will tell you the way these people develop the startup skills, and most of them are successful in Mangalore. You believe it or not, most of them actually, they are into beautician business, they are into restaurant business. I'm talking about women only, not men. So that is because of the way they developed that, what we call it as learning, and they are successful in their businesses. Now, if you see, all these are startups. Everybody knows Flipkart is a startup. All are Indian companies. Flipkart, Paytm, OEO, even Ola, all the services we are using. Even myself, if I look at my what we call it as mobile, I have all the apps with me. Flipkart I have, OEO I have, because I have to go to some other countries and I have to go, even through OEO I can go to different states of India. Paytm I am using, Ola I am using. See, once upon a time when they started, they were also blank, but today they are the successful business owners. Policy Bazaar also, Zomato, Swiggy, and then Lenskart. The moment you hear Lenskart, what you think? Oh, it is a foreign company. It is not at all a foreign company, but this company was started by Indian, Indian, and the way he started, you should listen to his story. Well, he had worked as a teacher, he had worked as a consultant, and all that. See, now this is the real vision of a person. Don't think that I have to be a science faculty, I have to be a commerce faculty. No, ultimately what matters is you have to find the need of the customer, identify what is the problem, whatever is running here and there, that you need to find out. That is the main reason you will have to start. See, this is what I want to tell you. Byju's, the learning app. You all aware, my dear friends? Byju's is the best, these days. If you look at, I'm really surprised the way they are growing, the way it is going on, because he was just a mathematics teacher, He was teaching mathematics in Kerala, Kannur. But see, the way he developed this, the company, which has got its own international platform and people are accepting it. Very great company, Byju's. Byju's is the world's most valuable education technology or a company after raising $1 billion in 2021. See the volume. Byju's market valuation stands for $15 billion, $15 billion. My dear friends, see the valuation of the company. The way to get at least $1 billion itself is a great job. To get the valuation of $15 billion, you see what is his contribution to the economy of Indian economy. So this is what we needed to see. Don't think about all these rocket science. Let us start from the scratch. Let us start simple things in our institute. Being a faculty, it is not that you yourself, you are making your students, and that will help you for your research also, innovation also. Let us come up with some kind of a avenue through which we can check for it. Then you all know Byju's. Who started Byju? We call him as a Byju Ravindran. Ravindran, who is the founder of EduTech startup Byju's, son of the physics and mathematics. He himself was teaching mathematics teachers from the place called Azikode village in Kannur, Kerala, district of Kerala. Ravindran is a farmer. He was a farmer teacher who turned on entrepreneurship, because this is what, understand, teachers can do it. If you look at the profile of many companies which is located in foreign countries, you have to do that assignment, because I can't give you all that company pictures one by one, who is a teacher, because if you look at all that profiles, the great startup companies, they are the teachers. If they are not the teachers, the entrepreneurs, they clearly say that is because of my teacher who guided me to take up this assignment. So that is what the spirit, that is what we call it as the inspiration you should have. Now my journey, my inspiration, how I started. The first company which I started in Malaysia, I will tell you, we have nearly 20-25 African country students. People are coming from, most of them are from Africans, as I told you. See, these people, I will tell you, their what we call it as their skills, the verbal skills, the communication, they because their thought that power is really great, because they can guide, they can counsel the people who are into some problem. See, that we are faculty members, we found that because these people are the suitable people. They can definitely counsel the people who are into problem, who are into people. Some people, they can't cope up with the education, because internationally, Malaysia and all that standalone institutions, universities, it is not like our Indian universities. In India, what happens, we are affiliated to some universities unless and until we go for a deemed and university status. But there it is not like that. The curriculum is very tough. That too, it is it is actually monitored and controlled by the Washington DC, what we call it as, OBE system, outcome based education system. In India also we are following these days as per National Board of Accreditation things, because some of them are following, not fully. In Malaysia also, Malaysian Qualification Agency, these people rigorous, they are very, very clear, very, very, because each and every, even the students' performance, students' activities, students' internals, tests, everything. Because I am not very, because I was not here for 12 years, I'm not very clear about how our NAC and other agencies, they look into that. NBAS, National Board of Accreditation, yes, because I have attended one of the, as a member, I have attended one of the NBA programs. So I know, but here in this case, what will happen is the students, we felt that this is a great, there is a great potential area in the minds of the students. Why can't they start? That we have provided all the facilities in the campus. We asked the students to come up come up as a company. As a company, that what they did, they actually registered that company, and that is through students only. Everything we did through students. But I'll tell you what benefits we got as a faculty. We could do some research, innovations. I will tell you what kind of research we did. See, one of the companies which we, because that company is actually into, we know in India we have societies who collect money and they invest and all that. This for saving this thing. In Malaysia, especially in Malaysian country, what happens is the people who are earning, they are not into the saving mode. What did they do? Whatever they earn, they will make it a point that full complete whatever the, for example, 1,000 ringgit is equal to 18,000 per day. 18,000 rupees also they spend throughout, because their life is completely into restaurants and all that. We found, let us teach the saving habit in the minds of the people. We have taken survey in the place called Nilai. So there we did that. Even that paper also you can find in Web of Science. One of the papers, Web of Science, you can find personal financial management study in a place called Nilai. Now I'm giving a small example. I hope it is touching you guys, because one or the other reason I'm connecting to the startup or innovative things which we have planned with the students, as I told you. So this is how, because finance separately we made a company, and what we call it as the HR, we made a company, marketing also on digital platform, because we involved some faculty to take over all that. Because generally every institution they do, I know, but they don't register that. But initially for some time, what they have to do, it has to be what you call it as, we have to give them some time. We have to understand. But what will happen in our case, what will happen, we take it as a startup. In the beginning, we say it is an entrepreneur cell and we do all the activities, but we do 1 or 2 activities and we'll close it. But when it will become serious is when you register that company, because you have to pay money for the registration. At the same time, after 3 years, as per the new norm, you have to pay the tax to the government. GST will come into picture. All that GST anyway, after 20 lakhs of turnover, it will fetch the GST. Everybody is aware. So this is how we can, you can plan one by one. See, when I start some company, how can it will help me? See, for example, the company Capital Advisors LLP, that is LLP is actually, it's a partnership firm which has started in India. That is Capital Advisors LLP. This company, the main purpose of starting this company is to make students part of this firm. And here actually the activities we took is internship we took, because our own students, we used to give internship, MBA students. Not only that, we invited degree students to take up internship program in our institute. See, that will help us for the admission also. That will help us for building the brand of the college. I'm just telling you a simple example. See, research is nothing but it is a 360 degree. It is not only fulfilling our own need, it is fulfilling our institution, our colleagues, our people, our society. This is what is the real research. Some people, for the sake of doing the research, they do. It is not the real research. See, for example, if you want to do some research in financial inclusion, the financial inclusion research should impact the rural villages. I mean, SHG, JLG groups, self-help groups, and joint liability groups. That should be the impact of your research. That is what is the real research. That is how you can start. See, initially we had a product of what I did actually. We, being an institution, we can't go directly to SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, NSE and BSE. What I did, I took MOU with Memorandum of Understanding with. I had a Memorandum of Understanding with Anand Ratty company. Everybody knows Anand Ratty is a stockbroking company. Basically, it is from Mumbai. There are branches in Bangalore and all that. So because we got into the MOU 70-30, because 30% for them, 70% for us. Here, that is the main activity here is, and faculty members to get into the stock market, because I give a lot of stock market webinars these days. If you look at my social media site, I give per day, I give three, 4 stock market webinars, because I have an association with the BSc and NSC both, even CDSL, Central Depository Services Limited, National Securities Depository Limited. See, this is one of the main intention of starting the company. You believe it or not, more than 3,600 accounts have been opened. It is just how many years old? Just 2 years old, 2019 April, because I had returned from Malaysia 2018 December, and 2019 April I have started this firm. I will tell you now, it's 2 years old. The firm is really doing excellent. Not only that, this gives lot of opportunity for the research and innovation in the campus. I'll tell you what kind of research they do. See, we are into what we call it as corporate social responsibility. I mean, CSR awareness program. We go to the schools. Nowadays, because of the lockdown, we are giving online virtual program to the school children about, we are giving them the gyan of how finance works, how can we take care of the personal financial management, how share market works. I'm talking about a 10th standard, 12th standard students, because during our time, even in MBA, we studied in MBA only about the stock market. But these are the initiatives we do. A demat account, I told, even we are giving the insurance facilities. We have a tie-up with the 2 insurance companies. Through that, we are giving the insurance service also. Even see, we have many, what we found is, that is what we have to find out the problem in the area. I mean, see, we have many vehicles parking in our campus. We thought, why can't we tie up with some insurance company? This vehicle insurance, the taxes, all that, let us pay on behalf of our faculty or students in the campus, because nowadays students also coming using a car, all that. See, that is the identification we have to make. See, even in your college also you can do. Some of the faculty members can plan. Why can't we tie up with some insurance companies, some stock broking companies? So there I can do my startup activity also. At the same time, I can build my research and innovation also. So this is what we can plan. So that is how I have built that, and I will tell you. So the continuous, now still the stock market training program is happening without fail daily, that you can just cross check in LinkedIn and Facebook, all the posters I'm posting. It is a pan-India program. I'm doing it regularly as a CSR program to the society, so that what will happen, people can at least understand the importance of personal financial management. That is the reason. You see, that startup helped us in order to get into research, publish papers and all that. A simple kind of a technique which will help you practically how to go ahead with that. That is what is about, as I told you, that is that is a continuous experience which we undergo. So need for startups by the educators. You all know I have given my complete what we call it as a story, how I have started and what are the things I have touched, and some of them I'll tell you later. Now, need for the startups by the educators. So if you look at these companies, the list, they are actually mainly started by the educators international level. Universities playing a key role in the growth of startups. You know that universities are the major reason for the startup. Nowadays, we don't call universities as a teaching institute. It is not a teaching institute, it's a learning institute. People have to learn, at the same time they have to implement. So that has to come into picture. Nowadays, every student desk or a table, wherever they sit, that is not a class, the class bench or a class desk. It is their startup only. The startup should start from there. Then who is responsible for that? The faculty has to be responsible. Faculty has to see to that, oh, he is a startup owner. I am the mentor. I have to give him the mentorship. Before that, what you need to do, you have to set up a platform in your staff room. You have to put a board there. Oh, this is my startup. And see, this is your learning. Over a period of time, what will happen? Slowly you can register that company, and then you can start that separately, because see, no institution will stop you starting that. Why? Because you're starting through the support of the university institution. That will help to get into publication, research, admissions, branding and all that. So that is why great heading will come. That's why when I started Capital Advisors in Sahyadri, there are many days in the newspaper, in the social media, everywhere. Sahyadri Capital Advisors started by Dr. Sharan Shetty. So this is what the spirit of a faculty that should be in you. So that will definitely help you not only to grow the growth of the institution, your own growth, the societal growth also can be possible through that. So the academic startup competitions is initiative of the Association of the Universities in the Netherlands. I will tell you first, the Netherlands, they have started. Netherlands is in Europe, all of you are aware. Amsterdam is the capital of Netherlands, you all aware. It is a part of Europe. And Netherlands, if you look at Netherlands, see, when we compare Netherlands, our Indian stock market with Netherlands is the world's first stock market. They have started. The second one is our Indian BSc. So there are a lot of opportunities. These people, they come up with all these academic startup academicians. How can they start a company? And they have given several names. Even we did, I know. Some of us, we started 10 years before only. Entrepreneurship cell, that cell, this club, that club. But the question here is, how many of us are successful? For example, see, this particular batch, for example, you're into MBA first year, you made somebody to in charge of some entrepreneurship cell. You say, oh, you are in charge for branding. You started a company called, but how effective it is. Once the students leave the college, that is gone. That kind of, that innovation, that research, that part of implementation is gone. So people, they forget when they go out, no, they'll forget. No, that is not the thing. When the student go out as an alumni, they should be part of our institution. See, their alumni connect is also there, my dear friends. All the faculty members, I hope you are clearly listening to me. See, now I am connecting research, innovation, alumni, admission, branding, everything. This is part and parcel of our institution. See, alumni, when they go out of the institution, their name is registered. You have to call them for every meeting of the companies. That you have to see. After, you have to do the first and foremost. When it will become serious, I'll tell you only one thing. Once you make it registered, my dear friends, when you make it registered, then only you will be serious. I remember when 2009 I started Entrepreneurship Cell and some kind of a small startups in through the support of NEN, National Entrepreneurship Network. I was in IBA, Indus Business Academy. I was in Bangalore for 7 years, and Indus Business Academy, I started this. You believe it or not, it was running 2 years. It was running. Then suddenly it will stop. Once the students go out, no, it stops. But what I felt in later stage when I was in Malaysia, I felt unless and until we register it, people are not. They are not serious. See, I have to have 2 partners at least. 2 partners means I have to invest some money. They have to invest some money. When we are investing, when we are registering, then it will be, I will tell you, we are very serious in implementing the startup functions. That will go on continuously without any problem. You are giving opportunity to your own faculty to do the research, innovation. See, no need to go to some other broking house and all to do the, I'm talking about the financial, if at all anybody wants to do research in stock market, bond, mutual fund and all that. No need to go to NSC, BSc and other platforms, broking houses and all. They can sit in Sahyadra. I'll tell you, people are pursuing, people who connected through VTU, they are pursuing their PhD and all their data they're collecting from this. And anyway, Bloomsburg, we are referring Manipal and other NITK and all that. But for all the basic result fundamentals, we depend on the terminals in the campus. So that is why installing the terminal, that will take some time. I'll tell you something once I get into the steps involved, what I did, the steps involved in starting a, what you call it as a franchise business, as a stockbroking company. So India's next big task, during turning academy researchers into entrepreneurs. Please understand, the research and entrepreneur, that should go together. If you are an entrepreneur, you can be researcher. If you are a researcher, you can be entrepreneur, because that is the combination we should follow. Because people should follow the entrepreneurial academicians, academic entrepreneurs. That kind of a reality should come. In the beginning, all I told you, we are the real entrepreneurs. It is not that we created somebody. When we talk about leadership, leaders are those who are those who are creating leaders. They are the great leaders. Entrepreneurs are those who are creating entrepreneurs. They are the great entrepreneurs. Then who's creating entrepreneurs? We ourselves, we are creating entrepreneurs. Because I'm very much happy to say that I have created many entrepreneurs through my all these. If you see my radio talk, TV talk, YouTube talk, all these stock market tips, everything. If you look at, I created those people. I have that what we call it as the positive spirit in me. And that is why I always say the teachers are the inspiration. Teacher is an inspiration to everybody. So now, can I start a company while employed as a full-time professor in a institute? That question will come to your mind. Yeah, some people will think, oh, well, I'm a professor, I'm into teaching, I just go to the class, whatever is given in the book, I will do that. See, the bookish teaching is not at all. I'll tell you that somebody wrote, Philip Kotler wrote about marketing. Why can't you write something about marketing from your own perspective? Why can't you add something into that? That is what is real research, that is what is real innovation. Take example of marketing. You take any kind of a technique in marketing, there are a lot of techniques will come, but what is my technique into the marketing? That is what is a real technique. See, that is why I'm telling you, it is not enough to be a simple academician. Let us add the what we call it is, in front of professor, I am also an entrepreneur. See, now I'm proudly, I can say that I am a ideator and founder of Capital Advisors. I'm also a professor, I'm also associate professor. This is what I can use, because I'm happily I can say that this is my initiative to the institute. If I leave the institute also, no problem, that company will continue, that will benefit to the students, and definitely it will help the society as well. See, why the university is the ideal startup platform. The entrepreneurial spirit of the university level is willing, and what we call it as eager. Nearly 90% of the young people believe that entrepreneurship education is important. Everybody knows, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, everybody wants to become an entrepreneur. But what will happen, according to the young, this is given by according to the Young Entrepreneurial Council, because when they made the survey, 90% of the people want to become an entrepreneur. Because we faculty members also want to become a, because you say, oh, I wanted to become a entrepreneur, but I am failed because I had joined teacher. No, it is not that. You can still start your entrepreneurial business, you can still start your entrepreneurial startups in the institution. The educators are the real entrepreneurs. That is what I told you. It is very, very important concept. Educators can create great leaders, CEO, what we call famous doctors and engineers, all these people, because of what we call it as, because of the educators, because of we people. See, some science faculty, they teach them for science, chemistry, physics, mathematics. See, a famous doctor, you talk about Dr. Devi Shetty, you talk about Dr. Shantaram, whoever it may be, they're very famous doctor. Who taught them the basics? The faculty, they taught them the faculty. Did they go to their faculty and told this to them? That because of your physics, because of your biology, because of your chemistry taught, which you taught to us, that made us to become an entrepreneur. Because they are professionals, they're entrepreneurs as well. They have come up with their own hospitals. Because a lot of engineers, if you see, there are many engineers, and do they come back to their teacher and say no? But before that, what you need to understand is that is because of we teachers. That is because of we teachers. Even commerce, management, people are becoming a chartered accountants, ACCA, ICMA, ICWA, CPA, certified public accountant, and all that. That is because of we teachers. We created them as professionals. But don't you think we have a great platinum or a great thing in us? So that we have to identify. That how can we identify? Through this activity. So education can create great leaders, as you all know, great CEOs, doctors, and all that. Why cannot they themselves be founder and create create the leaders through the research and innovation? Why can't? See, research and innovation, it looks like a rocket science word, I'll tell you. That is why I always say my students that I'm not going to tell this you publish, that you publish. No, simple way of publication, simple way of doing the things. How? When the moment people see research and innovation, some people will say that, oh no, I'm a teacher, I'm not a researcher. If I get into research, what will happen? I will definitely not give my complete 100% to that. I'm a great teacher. No, how can you say you are a great teacher unless and until you are into research, unless and until you are into innovation? See, when you're teaching the students entrepreneurship subject, you yourself should understand. You yourself should feel the entrepreneur skill in you. See, I'll just tell you one this thing. If at all you want to give entrepreneurship paper to a faculty, anybody for that matter, the heads of the institution, you should see to that, does this personality have this entrepreneurial skill? Has he initiated any company, any startup in the institution? At least not go for registration first few days, but later has that? Does he have that skill? See, if at all he has that skill, that will definitely reflecting in the students' minds. I think, See, you can say that, no, not at all possible. 100% of the students, they are not interested in entrepreneurship. At least 10% of the students will come up as entrepreneurship, right? So that is, you see, everything matters in our teaching system, learning system. That is why it is very important. First and foremost, we have to see what kind of a research and innovation we can do. What are the great points to influence startup for the growth? See, these are the things that we should understand. Now, the startup steps. This is very important. I will tell you in a simple way. I will tell you because I'll see. When I joined in 3 months, I could start a company. The management told me that within 6 months, but within 3 months, I started a company because I had teaching some subjects also. But in my mind, because my main intention is to start a company, and I have to prove it to the society, to the management, to the college that, oh, some company being started by a faculty. A faculty is an entrepreneur. Educator to entrepreneur. See, that is what educator to entrepreneur. So education to educatorship to entrepreneurship. Please understand, educatorship to, I don't know how it moves, educatorship to entrepreneurship. So this is what should come in everybody's life. So that will definitely frame, or it will add value to everybody. When we talk about startup, startup, how it will start? Every startup, it will start with the research. And research, when we talk about research, what is the research you do? Any company you take, any one of your friends may take up one startup in one of the places in Bangalore. And first and foremost, what he will do, he will ask, he will conduct kind of a research, but people are not very focused about just they will collect information orally. Then they'll come to conclusion that, oh, this place is very good for this product. This place is very good for this services. Restaurant is really running in this particular place. Such kind of a things, it will come up. I remember there are people who had come to the colleges to make to start a company in the campus. They also became academicians. There are examples. I have this example in Noble School of Business in JP Nagar. I was there as an adjunct faculty. One lady had come to start a company, a canteen business, and I don't know, she was inspired. She's running her canteen business also now. Also, she is a academician. She's a director now. See, this is what is happening. People can be an entrepreneur, they can come as an academic. That should go together, because faculty members, to become a faculty, we have to have entrepreneurial skill also, because startup means what? We are creating great people to the society. I hope some of you can take this also as a researcher. We are creating people, the best leaders to the society. So that has to come in us. So that is why. Now, startup steps, simple steps. There is no much this kind of a steps. First and foremost, what you have to do your market research. My dear friends, just to do your simple research. In the college only, how I found in Capital Advisors, I know when I was visiting classes, I used to go to engineering classes also. We have engineering and management both. Management classes, anyway, I'm taking class. I'm just telling you, I'm giving example. How can we find the problem? And then we can give the solution. Now, I visited some engineering classes, and hardly I find engineers investing in the stock market. And then if you ask some engineering lecturers, now in the institute it is very common. Now, you can also check with Nagarjuna Engineering College if you want to go to them. Your Mr. Concern, I'll tell you, it is a potential area for you. I was inquiring some faculty, they don't even know stock market things and all. Some faculty used to tell me, sir, I used to ask, because my interest is into personal financial management. I used to ask them, where do you park your money generally? Because some people are agriculturists, all that. Then they used to tell me, sir, I park money in SB and FDC. They are engineers. They are all so-called engineers. We call them as very good engineers and all that. But when it comes to financial management, that they don't know. They just park their money in SB and FD account. And some of them, they proudly say, my money is in ERD. Yeah, what we call it as recurring deposit. My money is in PPF. I have opened one more PPF. I have already EPF. EPF, I get money, employee contribution. I have even PPF also. PPF where? Canara Bank, Syndicate Bank and all that. So all that they say, but they are not aware of what is stock market, what is mutual fund, what is bond, what is financial market, what are commodities, what are derivatives, all that. Then I felt, oh, there is a need to start a company in the campus. You got my point? This is how I started thinking about it. Then I had a discussion with my own friends in Malaysia, and I was asking them how we started there with African mindset, and now why can't we start why can't I start in India? Then that made me to come up. Then again, as I told you, after starting the company, then I found there are many vehicles in the campus. Paying the vehicle, this thing, insurance and all that is a big task for them. We took that opportunity. Another thing, one more thing I found. These people engineering departments to make get, because students hardly they had PAN card, Aadhaar and all that. Earlier I'm talking about few years before, Aadhaar card and all that. Then I found they are inviting people from outside to take up this Aadhaar card, PAN card, even voter ID, all whatever it may be, passport, especially passport. I thought, why can't I take up this? I can use, because I have used my own students. I'm not doing that job. I'm guiding them. Income is coming to the college department. See, I am guiding them. Why can't we start this kind of a PAN card, Aadhaar card, passport, all that? Then we stopped the externals coming to our institute. Suddenly, it was increasing. The revenue is also coming up and all that. See, they used to take 2,500 for one passport. We thought we will give for 2,000. We will make your passport done normal and all this fast track, whatever it may be. Then see, this activity we used to take through the students. Then again, I told you CSR activities to the primary schools, high schools, PU colleges, and all that. We used to collect money, and then even we go to some kind of a some places and try to collect the information from them and all that. So this is what we used to do continuously. And those students, I'll tell you, they are thinking of starting a company now because they felt that there is something in it. There is some what we call income is also there, at the same time satisfaction is also there. Let us start. So this is how you have to do your research, market research, conducting market research in the first step to determine if you really do have an idea worth pursuing. This is what first and foremost you identify. Some of you, I'll tell you, HR faculty, I have a couple of examples. HR, I think we are into management, MBA, BCom and all that, I know. So HR people, there is a scope. I was telling, even I was inspiration to one of the faculty in our college. She started, I told her, I found Bijapur, Gulbarga, and some Raichur. There are places. When I was interacting with the students, they were telling me, "Sir, can you give me English coaching class, consulting, and all that?" Then I found I inspired one of my colleagues to start a company. She came up with, after me, she came up with HR, Sayadri HR Consulting. See, this is how we have to inspire people. We have to see to that whether there is a scope for the what we call it as research, innovation. At the same time, there is a scope for the startup. Now, secure intellectual property. See, whatever you do, it has to be come under the intellectual property rights, because whatever you don't share it initial period, you don't share it with anybody. You yourself, you keep it unless and until you register further. So that is why secure intellectual property, that should come in your mind. Decide on branding. See, branding plays an important role. Now, wherever I go, whatever I do, I always say advisors LLP, capital advisors LLP. That I myself started company. I don't advise people to go to Zerodha. Don't advise people to go to angel brokers. I don't advise people to go to Upstock. Anyway, when I'm giving my stock market talk, I have to tell them why, because they are connected to CDSL. No, Zerodha, I say them, hey, Zerodha, why are you investing in Zerodha? Yeah? Zerodha capital advisors will give the advice. We have our own student friends, our own faculty. There are a team of people who can give the advice. They're doing a lot of research on that. They're going through company, all the activities and all that. Why are you going to Zerodha? See, Zerodha, they won't just, I can understand Zerodha brokerage is less, even though we give 0.35 this thing, but Zerodha, it may be flat to 20 rupees. Why are you going to Zerodha? There is nobody to give you the advice. Don't go to some Upstock and don't go to even Angel and all that. They don't give you advice, but their brokerage is less. We are giving advice, though we are charging more. That kind of a, what we call it as, that kind of a the way, that is the way we inspire, we build our brand, and we say that we are we students, because we, whenever we go out of state also, there also we spread this, because we have account from out of state also. Some students, whenever we are giving webinars, people open their account in our broking house, because see, we give advice through the support of students and faculty members. We give the advice. See, this is what is nothing but the research, innovation, and the startup. Through startup, we are come up as a research and innovation. We do a lot of This is what is research or innovation. So that is what we have to think. Decide on branding, incorporation. See, incorporation, when we talk about incorporation, you have to be very careful. As I told you earlier, see, as an institution, you can't go directly to the what we call it as the stock market or SAB. You have to get into some franchisee, and even in insurance companies also, you can't go directly to them. IRDA, you can't take the permission. You have to channel through one of the insurance agencies. Like for example, you know what we call it as in Mangalore, there are some insurance companies. I mean Bangalore and Bangalore Max Life, this, that, and you can just collaborate with them, and you have a 30-70, 40-60 kind of a sharing, and through that you can just get into the insurance products. So this is how the incorporation collaboration that actually plays an important role. Choose a leader to lead. This is important. Choose a leader to do the right direction. See, as I told you, whenever you do this kind of a activity in the college, you should make it a point that that particular person who started this, who initiated this, I'm talking about the student. Anyway, faculty will be there, student. You have to make him as advisor forever. You don't, oh, he is leaving the institution, let him leave. He is starting his own company also, no problem. But you have to make him as an advisor, because don't leave anybody, because everybody is important. So that is why your duty is to, that leadership legacy should be retained. You should call them. That is what we are doing in the Capital Advisors. We call people again and again, and we ask their opinion. We have our own 6 months, once in 3 months, once in 6 months meetings also we have. Nowadays it's virtual meeting. So that we make what next step. What is that we can do? See, now online we are selling our lot of products. Being an education institution, we are selling lot of products, because I have been associated now also, because I'm into the another institute. There also we have started some other setup in the institution now, because our main aim is to start an incubation center in that institute. But this is still running as a company. And see, this is how you have to start, and you have to, because leadership spirit, that matters a lot in our day-to-day life. Write a business plan, my dear friends, because business plan, that makes a difference. Please understand, if at all you have a very good business plan, what will happen? That will make a big difference in you. So that will help you in order to grow, in order to go ahead. See, if at all, if in case the best business plan, if at all you have a very good business plan in you, that will definitely help you to come up as a good what we call it as a good startup. And even you can collect feedback from the people and all that. Then pick a workplace. The workplace also important, my dear friends. See, as I told you, see, in the education institution now, as I told you, you should feel that which is important. See, I found people, they don't have demat, they don't have mutual fund, they don't have even have the bond. I felt this is the area where I can touch, I can feel, and I can open the account. People can be benefited out of it. You remember, you believe it or not, day before I was conducting a webinar on stock market, capital market. One of the farmer's son, he is from Chhatrapati College. He was asking me one question after completing my 1 hour webinar, because he's in a question and answer. He was asking, sir, my dad has lot of money, sir. Not only my dad, all my relatives, all my nearby farmers, everybody has lot of money, sir. I just asked out of curiosity, what is the amount, may I know? He said 40-50 lakhs, sir, in the bank account. Then I said, I counter questioned him. This is not your father alone. It is others also. In your village, you just check with everybody. Most of them, they have account amount in their bank. See, unless if at all it is a current account, it is okay, no problem. You have to, what we call it as, there should be a circulation. You have to have a current account. But it is not a current account. He has not deposited money in the current account. He said it is parked in the FD and some money in SSB. Then I immediately said, my dear friend, you have a potential. See, you are studying your BCom in Chhatrapati College. What you can do, get associated, get collaborated with some broking house or some financial firm. You may be having some mutual fund firm, bond firm, or any firm nearby, near your college or near your home. What you can do, you join with them. See, and he has updated me also yesterday, sir. I already spoken to 3-4 of them, and some of them they agreed, and we have to see the percentage sharing now. And I told him, see, this is a benefit to you. Being a student, you are coming up with this model. And you can, over a period of time, once you finish your degree, now also if you want, you can register your company. You come up with your own agency, company, and you start giving a what we call advisory program, like awareness program in your own rural village. See, now since it is a lockdown and all that, he thought, since he has what contact number of these people, since people have WhatsApp and all that, internet facility, all that, he is saying that let me start gathering some 5 to 10 people and giving them this kind of a gyan. Why finance? Why, how to take care of our finance? How to take care of our personal financial management and all that, and importance of capital market, importance of stock market, bond market, even your mutual fund, insurance, commodity, derivative, all that, even bitcoins also. Bitcoins also, he was asking me. I said Bitcoin is actually Indian context. It is not at all considered as legal, but it is not at all. It is not illegal one. It is not considered legal, but government has not said it is illegal. Okay, that is why people have the scope to invest in Bitcoin also. Because yesterday I was going through news. There are a lot of changes in the Bitcoins also now. That is cryptocurrency. What we call it as Ethereum, Buckscoin, Bitcoin, all that. A lot of opportunities are there. See, that is why. And now he has started his process. I will tell you, within few months, he will become an entrepreneur. I am very sure. Because he should have shared that with his faculty. Faculty must have given him some idea, but that has not been happened. So why I'm telling this? Because this is a research area. This is an innovation area wherein we can touch those people, and it will help ourselves also. Not only us, it will touch the society as well. Because the money which they park in bank account, 50 lakhs if they park in FD, I don't think it will fetch even 50,000 per year, my dear friends. Because see, had he invested that money in a mutual fund, stock market, even though it is volatile or risky, even what we call it as derivative market, F&O, commodities, or ETF, exchange traded fund, it would have got some benefit, appreciation out of it. And he could have invested in gold, he could have invested in real estate. But just parking that money, I will tell you, this is one of the research area, my dear friends. We just check with, I think, in Nagarjun College or whichever the college nearby in Bangalore. People are coming from rural areas. They can be from Kanakpur and all these, Mysore and Biji Nagar and all that. This kind of a what we call it as research you have to do. You have to find out from your own students whether there is a potential, whether there is a scope in investing, whether there is a scope in giving this kind of advisory services to the people in villages. See, when I was in Bangalore, Manipal Academy of Banking, I used to, because I was in Manipal Academy of Banking for 2 years, I was doing my research also. Those days we used to go to Ediyuru, our Ediyuru in the sense, not Bangalore Ediyuru. It is like what we call it as Nagamangal, this side, what we call it as this Asan side and all that. We used to go and we used to give a lot of training programs to SHG, JLG groups and all that. So that learning we had. So through that, we helped SHG and JLG groups to come up as their own startup form. And some of them are successful, I'll tell you. Not many. Some of them are really successful through idea and all that, really doing good. So this is how you have to plan. So pick a workplace that you have to see, find a mentor. See, mentor is very, very important, my dear friends. Whenever you are taking decisions, you have to seek the mentorship, my dear friends, advisoryship of people. If you seek advisoryship of people, people who are making lot of efforts in guiding your company. Sorry, I just have water. 1 minute. Yeah, the last point is the mentorship. See, mentorship plays an important role. See, faculty, we ourselves are the mentor. See, you don't think about, I am not an expert, I'm an HR. I'm an HR, that's all. I can teach through the textbook. Somebody has written the textbook, I can teach what he said. But what I am going to tell, that is out of the picture. Because I don't know what to tell. What Robinson said, what Prasanna Chandra said, what Philip Kotler said, that I can say. But I myself, I can't say anything. See, that is not the mentorship. Mentorship is something, it has to come when the people are in critical situation, when the people are in tough situation. So that is what is the mentorship. Why can't you find it now? the faculty members, whoever is there, I'm just giving you this. This is I'm thinking this is a optimistic, a positive view to all of you. Let us use the let us use this platform. I mean, after my session, you use this platform, find out, talk to your people, talk to students, find out what is the area you can guide the students. They will definitely help you to present your papers, do the research in your area. I will tell you, last year, 2 papers we have presented, I myself have published to the support of the students. I'll tell you frankly, because students collected the data through our company. They collected the data. Through that data we present, because we put their name also. Their name is first name, our name is second name. See, this is how we do. This is what is a complete picture. That is why I'll tell you, you be a mentor to the students. Let them, don't wait that PhD guide and the students. No, that is not that. Let us be, we are MBA faculty, we are degree faculty, UG faculty. We are giving guidance to the students. That project, that will definitely help them in order to grow in their day-to-day affairs. So that is why this is an important aspect. You have to find a member. Who is the mentor? That mentor you have to find out. Those mentors, we have to see to that, how they will help. Now the documentation process, I'll tell you, to start a startup, as you can go get into research, you can get into innovation, whatever it may be. To start a startup, you have to have some criteria. I will tell you, when I started as international level, I had a experience, because I myself, what we call it, was not the founder. I mean, founder, yes, but not the owner. Please remember, there's a difference between founder and the owner. See, international level, being an Indian, being a person from the other country, he doesn't have that privilege to start a company, but he can catch hold of somebody and he can do that. So that is actually possible, I'll tell you. In fact, some people are doing it, taking them as a principal investors, and then us as the what we call it as a collaborative investors. So that is why documentation in India, I'll tell you, in India, in our country, registration is very simple, my dear friends. How can you register that? Once all the things are set up, when you have to, before registration, that I have not mentioned here, you have to first and foremost, you have to describe your products and services. Which are the products you're offering, which are the services you're offering. You have to do lot of studies, you have to do lot of interactions, lot of brainstorming. That you alone yourself can't do. What you can do, you have to depend on somebody, either students or other faculty or externals or a mentor. See, once you decide that, your next task is to identify the people who can lead this company, who lead this startup. Because we have to see to that some kind of a activity has to be taken place. And in that case, once you identified that, then you have to facilitate, you have to write down your objectives, your vision, your mission, your products and your services. All that you have to make a note of it. Once it is decided, because you have to write it in a Word format, that has to be ready before sending it to the registration. The registration, the registration can happen. Company secretary can do the registration. All your financials will go to the chartered accountants, but company registration, I think you are all aware of CS, company secretary. They are there in Bangalore, everywhere. You have to approach them and they will fix some fees. But in first and foremost, what they will do, they will ask you to send some 5 to 6 names of the company, because sometimes what will happen, as per the MCA, the company's name, sometimes there is a reputation in the company's name. So people, what they will do is they will just register some name and they go on changing. That should not happen. So instead of getting to that problem, the company secretary will tell you, my dear friend, you just come up with the 6 names, 5 to 6 names, and that name which is highlight that which name you are giving a higher priority, that name we will consider. Then they'll put it in MCA, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs site, and they will just go through if at all those names are available or not. Once they find that the name is suitable and that kind of a name is not with the other company, they are not using such names, let us go ahead with that. So that is how MCA, once the MCA gives a permission, in my case, in Capital Advisors, I will tell you, the bigger challenge for me, it took 1.5 months just to select the companies. I don't know. It is like MCA, it was rejecting the name and all that. That you have to be very careful. You yourself can check also. You can go to site and you can check yourself whether the name is available or not. That name, that first and foremost, the name should be very catchy. See, as I told you, since I am into Capital Advisors, see, my name reflects that Capital Advisors LLP, that is Capital Advising LLP. That gives a training program, mutual fund, all the capital advisor is a capital advisor. So that should reflect. Once you decide that, once the MCA gives you the permission to go ahead with the company name, the same name, they will send the certificate. Okay, MCA has given you this. Okay. Then after that, you have to create the PAN. You have in your individual PAN, but you have to create a PAN for the company. PAN is very important for the company. Why? Because without the PAN, that the other document won't go, because it's connected to the tax. People have to see to that whether your company is giving the PAN. And Aadhaar is also there connected to the company. Company is coming up with the Aadhaar. They have Aadhaar number too. Then the TAN is there, tax account number. People should have the general. I'm talking about the tax account number. They should have transaction tax number. They should have GST registration. GST registration, I'll tell you, in the initial period, it is not mandatory. You don't need to take attention about the GST. GST, if at all your turnover crosses more than 20 lakhs, then only you have to apply for the registration. If at all you feel like, okay, let me spend for the GST registration, you can do it. There is no problem at all. But once it reaches to 20 lakh, then only it is allowed to, you are eligible to do the what we call GST registration. And as I told you, name of the company approved by MCA. That is very, very important. As I told you, agreement deed for the company. See, agreement deed or a partnership deed means what is that? See, LLP is actually, when you talk about company, you all aware, there is LLP, there is a limited liability, there is a company, then we call it as a sole proprietorship and all that. But generally, people prefer partnership. You know that, because this is the imagination, the creation, the idea comes between 2-3 people, more than 2 people. Then when they are going to form the company, that time what will happen is they will think that, oh, this company has to be with the partnership deed. Partnership deed, you know that you study in a BCom, BBM and all that. What are the contents in the partnership, and how the profit and loss account will be shared, all that. Those things will be there in the, what we call it as in the documentation process. So that is why these are the important documents required. Anybody, faculty, academicians, or even entrepreneur, whoever it may be, whoever wants to register for this, you have to have these documents, main documents. And some documents are there that is not very, very this thing. But this is actually you needed to have documentation required: PAN, Aadhaar, TAN, GST. Then we have a name of the company approved by the MCA, agreement deed, or a partnership deed. So this is important. Now, what are the challenges we face? Some of the challenges, that's how I told you. I'll tell you the opportunities also. That is very, very important, my dear friend. Opportunities, I'll tell you, different research agencies, testing agencies, different authorities in India. They are like, about Niti Aayog, ICSSR, all that examples I'll give you, because I myself got some fund by Reserve Bank of India recently. 50,000 fund I got to give the awareness program in the villages. That is, I have the document also with me. If you want, I can show you to later, because I'm not added in the PPT. Recently, I got that 50,000 for my company. The reason is actually, since we are doing the CSR program, they have given us 50,000, but we have to show to them that what work we have used that money. Now, what are the challenges we face, my dear friend? The first and foremost challenge we face: fierce competition. What will happen is the corporate world is quite fearsome. You know that, because everywhere fear is there. People they think that, oh, this is people are thinking that, oh, there is a risk involved. How can I get into market? Let me not let me go out of it, and let me not get into that kind of this thing you have to start, because that is what you have to think, my dear friend. Then second one is unrealistic expectations. Success does not come alone. You know that success does not come alone, because you have to put your hard work. That hard work will help you to grow in your life. If you don't put hard work, you will be in a trouble. So that is why you should have that expectation, but there should be some limit. That limit, because initially break even should happen, and then you have to get into some expectation, because an entrepreneur or a startup, whoever the academician, whoever starting the business, they should think that it is just for the knowledge in the beginning, then break even, then we'll go high. Hiring suitable candidates, as you know, in education institutions, whom we can hire the students, people who passed out. In fact, some of our alumni, they did not get job, and they got into our company. And not only because we have some other setups also, engineering also, they have started some company, and our own people, our finance, HR, marketing MBAs, They joined our own engineering firms in the campus. So that is what has been happening. And partnership decision making. So this is also important aspect. The partnership decision making, how the people are contributing to the decisions, and how the partnership plays an important role. What kind of a decision we have to make? Financial management, that is also important. Finance plays an important role. If you are unable to manage the finance well, you will be in trouble. Cyber security is an important component, because we should take care of our documents, our confidentiality, our things very properly, because we are into partnership. Because tomorrow, if anything happens, you will be in trouble. So that is one of the challenges. Winning trust of customers. See, winning trust of a customer is also challenge, because see, when you talk about the stock broking, there are many stock brokings in Bangalore. People say, hey, we have Anand Reddy, we have India Infoline, we have India Bulls. Oh, India Bulls, they have stopped in 2004. They are into what we call India Bull Finance. But we have what people say angel brokers. We do have Bonanza. We have Motilal Oswal. We have Prabhudas Leeladhar. There are many in Mangalore itself. Mangalore itself. There are more than 20. Whatever Bangalore I found in 2002 only. There are many. I think it's more than 100 or 200 broking houses are there. Not only broking houses, there are people like us, like a franchise system is also going on. So that is why winning customers is the major point. As I told you, see, people may talk about Zerodha. Zerodha may give them the less brokerage, but whatever the advice, Zerodha won't give the advice. What about the upstocks? They won't give the advice. But we ourselves have to get into the company, even though the charges are little higher, but we have to get into that. Now, what are the opportunities available, my dear friends? So when we talk about opportunities, here I want to give you a couple of examples. See, opportunities in the sense what? Opportunities are those which will help us to grow in our life. See, how is it? See, for example, employment. See, as I told you, our company, our Sahyadri Capital advisors, we are giving lot of opportunities to the students. They are into employment. Please understand, they can get the employment if at all, because see, we don't promise the high salary and all that. We will give some minimal, but internship opportunities will give. There's a free internship opportunities in the because people can come and do the. Otherwise, they have to go to some other company. They themselves they can pursue their internship in the campus, and the paper publications they can do. See, students last year, the volume of publications, volume of paper presentations are more. Why? Because we were encouraging students to come up with the paper presentation in the conferences, that too international conferences. How the Indian market, how the comparisons and all that, how Indian market is better than the other markets. Such kind of bond market, how it is, the relationship, the degree of relationship, the way it performs, of everything the students studied. And then the corporate social responsibility and even the awareness programs effectively, how can it happen? These are the important things used to happen through the CSR programs. So that is why, from the point of view of opportunities, if you think there are, as I told you, employment opportunities will be more, internship opportunities will be more, then paper publications are happening, then CSR activities are happening, awareness programs, CSR in the sense, awareness programs are also happening. Now, this particular opportunity, I'll tell you, my dear friends, see, finance area, I'm just giving you some idea, where can you focus in your own college, where all the things we can focus on starting a startup and making the research and innovation in the same field. I will tell you, there are gray areas. You have to check for it. First and foremost, some of them are familiar for you. Finance area, I'm not talking about management perspective. Finance area or a commerce perspective, setting up of a stock market. In the sense, I mean, a broking house, setting up of a broking house. It's a broking house firm. Okay, stock market firm is a broking house firm. Mutual fund agency. There are some mutual fund agencies available. If you go to Bangalore main city, there are why can't you take some collaborative franchise with them on a percentage basis? I'm talking about the students. Then it will definitely help the faculty members and students to do the research, at the same time invest in different avenues. Then what we call society for savings. See, you can come up with the savings platform in the campus, and you can think about some simple kind of a savings technique. And I always say in my webinars, stock market webinars, we these days when I'm talking about stock market, capital market awareness program, I say simple example to the students. I don't know whether I will conduct those programs to your students, capital market 1 hour program. So students will get certificate also from the BSc. See, in this program, I always say students, the students think once they get job, once they get married, they will start saving. But I completely, I disagree that. Why? Because people have to start, students have to start saving, inculcate the habit of saving during their student life itself. You may question, how will they get the money? See, the money will come from their parents. You all aware. Places like Bangalore, if I'm correct, to travel from one place to another place for the food, for the commutation, for operational expense, parents have to give some 200 rupees minimum. Anyway, some parents will give them 500 rupees. I'm just giving a simple idea. This gyan also you can give to the students to save the money. And what will happen is, see, such things we can see. People, what they will do, they will just whatever the money given by the parents, these people are very intelligent. They will spend the fullest. Instead of spending that money fullest, why can't they save at least 20% of the money given by the parents? For example, 200 rupees given by the parents. 20% of 200 is how much? 40 rupees. 20 into 2 is equal to 40. That is per day. For 10 days, that 40 rupees will become how much? 400 rupees. 20 days, 800 rupees. 30 days, 1,200. And simple calculation I'm giving, but there is a power in it. I'll tell you. During our period, our time, nobody was there to tell us to save. But here, that is what Warren Buffett says always. Don't save what is left after spending. Instead, you spend what is left after saving. I repeat, he says the world's brain of finance, Warren Buffett, he says, don't save what is left after spending. Instead, you spend what is left after saving. He talks about saving should come first, then only spending. That is why 40 rupees per day, 400 rupees for 10 days, 800 rupees for 20 days, 1,200 rupees 30 days. For 1 month, you are saving 1,000. How much? 1,200. For 10 months, you are saving how much? In a year, there are 12 months. But anyway, after deleting all the Saturday, Sunday, we are left with only 10 months. 10 into 1,200 is 12,000. See, for 2 years of program, MBA program, student can save minimum 24,000. I'm just telling you a simple calculation, but this kind of a gyan students are not aware. They just thinking of spending money, but we don't focus on the earning part of it. So this kind of activity, the students, they can themselves, they can initiate. How can they save? Where that saving can happen? Where can we invest? It's a small kind of a thing, that will see. Initially, when I started the stock market, I'll tell you, you may object that. Some of you may object that, hey, this kind of a financial activity won't work in colleges. It will be definitely a failure. People will think that people are misusing in the institute. No, I'll tell you, when I started the capital advisor, people used to tell me the same thing. Please don't start the startup. What will happen is, when the students are investing, when they lose their money, you will be in a trouble. I said one thing, let us wait and see how they're going to perform. See, that is the reason I clearly told the students during your student life, don't invest in intraday. Intraday is actually always critical for you. Don't use our term investing in intraday. I have clearly mentioned in the board that no intraday, only delivery. See, that is how we used to track students. And some of my engineering students, they were using app, they used to tell me, sir, the penny stocks were available those days for 1 rupee 40 paisa. I'm just giving you some gyan so that you can understand how the experience goes like this. 1 rupee 40 paisa, some students from Kerala, the parents are earning a lot of money there into jewelry business and all. And they used to invest in 1 lakh share. One share is available for 1 rupee 40 paisa, penny stock. I'm talking penny stock. And 1 lakh share they used to invest. And they used to tell me, sir, I have invested 1 lakh 40 for 1 lakh share. You know what is my profit? That 1 rupee 40 paisa has become 2 rupee 40 paisa. I made a profit of 1 lakh. See, 1 lakh 40 has become 2 lakh 40. And the difference between 2 lakh 40 minus 1 lakh is actually 2 lakh 40 minus 1 lakh 40 is 1 lakh. He made a profit. The people are making a profit like this. See, but in the campus, we don't entertain such thing. Why? Because we always say that intraday is always dangerous. But in a student life, you don't get into the intraday thing. But you can do it once you finish your degree. You can do it. Otherwise, what will happen? It is like a gambling a game. You every time they used to be in the terminal, in front of the terminal. So that we were completely ignoring. I was telling them clearly, no intraday, all deliveries. No intraday, all deliveries. So that then students started investing in the delivery mutual fund and all that. So that is why one thing is setting up of a capital, a broking house in the firm, that you can plan slowly. You can plan in case you are really interested to start a stock. Mutual fund agency, you can get in collaboration with somebody. Practically, you can teach the students. In fact, in your brochures and all, you can mention practical learning is happening in the institute. Research can also happen there. Society for saving, that you can create an investment. Then training for the stock market and banking program. In our institute currently, I myself do lot of stock market training program. When I get opportunities for the insurance and banking, I give reference of my own colleagues. They are doing their research also in the same area. So that will definitely, they can add value to the banking and the insurance sectors. So this is how you can plan one by one. Collaborative learning you can plan. You can do the research on that, and that you can plan one by one. Even you can see in this regard, I want to tell you, there is a app called DSIJ. That is people do lot of research using that app. That is Dalal Street Investment Journal. Initially I insist students not to invest our main real money, invest only virtual money. Using this app, our MBA students, I give them buffer time of 3 lakh. That DSIJ gives what we call it as 1 million, 10 lakh as a virtual money. Through that virtual money, these people invest, they just portfolio their money, and some people will lose, some people will gain. And I ask them to understand and learn. When losing, you have to learn. When gaining, you have to learn. When you're learning from losing and gaining, that will help you to invest in the real market world. So that is how people can start investing in a market. First, initially, they have to go for the virtual, then they can go for the real investment. So that is how they can slowly start. And HR, when you talk about HR area, you all aware training. The training you can give, as I was telling you, psychology training, English training, communication training, this training, even what we call it as a psychometric test training. Even there are a lot of tests connected to what we call it as HR area. So they can give selection, how interview processes, interview training. And no, don't charge some simple money. Don't charge too much of money. Just charge. This is just charges just to what we call it as make them understand the importance of that. It is not charging for the purpose of making lot of money. Just because they are an institution, we are charging them to make the understand the importance of the training program, training, recruitment, consulting service. Consulting services are available. Lot of consulting services are available in and around. I want to give you one example for this. After I initiated one more finance, it is not set up now, MSN. One of my colleague, he started immediately. He is actually a digital marketing person. He was in the US and he was in Goa. He pursued his degree from Goa, and immediately he was inspired. He started a company. Okay, digital connect one startup. He did it not in a campus. He did separately. He did at his home. He registered his company. He did. And believe it or not, recently due to our some of our network, see Dakshina Kannada Bus Association, they wanted to make in Dakshina Kannada private buses are more. You are all aware, and that too they are very good. There are a lot of, I think more than if I'm not wrong, more than 500 buses are there in Dakshina Kannada. They don't have the proper. They have their official office bearers, but the way they developed their the network, I mean the website and all that, it is not up to mark. And this particular people, when we have approached in one of the college, one of the centers, then I was discussing with them, and then they were looking for kind of a research. What kind of a problems people face when using the private buses in Dakshina Kannada. And then they started thinking about it, and they given this task to the person whom I told, my own colleague who started a company, marketing company, digital marketing. There they have given him the opportunity. Now the project is costing around 45,000-50,000. He has to design the website for Dakshina Kannada Bus Association and all that. I'm just telling you, see, he is a faculty. At the same time, he is collaborated with Dakshina Kannada Bus Association, and that research work he is giving it to the students. You got my point. See, this is also a kind of a research, right? How is a bus facility good in Dakshina Kannada? What kind of a problem people face in Dakshina Kannada? All that. So this is how people can start looking into the research innovations. You can do it in Bangalore, anywhere, any part of the world, you can do this kind of a research. This is what we call it as a consulting or a marketing. What we call it is in the marketing area, we can get into digital marketing, we can get into branding, we can get into what we call it a distribution channels, etc. See, that's why all the social media everywhere, people wanted kind of a support. Some people in the digital media, they want to prepare a poster. Some of them want to prepare a poster. They want to prepare a digital arena of preparing e-brochures and all that. So that is there. So that we need to identify. So that is in marketing area also, digital marketing, branding, distribution channels, etc. So these are the things also there. So that opportunity we have to identify. When you identify that opportunity, it is very easy to you to understand how can we take it forward. See, let us take about BCom or BBM or BBA or engineering or a medical, whichever the field it may be. So let us take engineering. Engineering, people are pursuing their diploma engineering. They have a lot of opportunities in a computer field, in a mechanical field, in their own field. So that is why when you're pursuing your degree itself, there only, why can't you start? See, that is why college like Sahyadri, they have a lot of companies. If you visit the campus, there are many companies which are really doing good. So that is why, see, it's a real time learning. It's what we call it as, it is a ground reality you are learning. So, see, education should be such that it should go on theoretically, practically you should learn. So that should go side by side. That will definitely help people to grow in their life. Please understand. And I was talking about some of my agencies who fund, especially the RBI and ICSR, these two initiatives. People, I missed this RBI site here. RBI.gov.in. Government of Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India. If you go to the site, lot of funds are given by them. They can give funds directly. You have to submit the proposal. What you can do, no? See, in my case, what I did is I have submitted a proposal connected to startup awareness programs and financial support by the banks. About that, I submitted a proposal. Okay. Within 3 months, I got the news that your proposal has been accepted and we are going to release 50,000. And they have released 50,000 also 3 ECS. And that money we have to show to them how we have used. So such kind of opportunities you also have to look for. As I said, startup, research and innovation. So this is what I mean, startup, research and innovation. So that is the reason when you get this kind of a fund, and don't stop, you continuously apply. Even AICT gives lot of funds, that, for the people, even in fact for entrepreneurship, academicians to entrepreneurship. Those in that field also, lot of opportunities are there. Those opportunities are granted by these AICT and UGC, all that they're giving. The first and foremost, if you see that, there is a startup Karnataka government gov.in. My dear friends, here I want to give you one example. I had experienced a great experience in the last year. Last year, it was in the month of, I'll tell you the month exactly, June or July. Yeah, exactly July. I'll tell you, my dear friends, there is a Karnataka startup agency. You can go to the site, same site you can visit. I don't know how many of you are aware. And they are calling for some proposal, what we call it as, they will announce some proposals to be submitted for the startup projects. No, the maximum amount they give 50 lakh. You believe it or not, from our institution, 10 startups we have submitted. I mean, 10 ideas we have submitted. Even I myself have submitted my idea, but I'm not going to tell you what idea I have, because that idea in the third stage it is failed. I was failed in the third stage. First and second stage was clear. First program was online Power PPT presentation, and then we had to visit IKP center in Mangalore. IKP center in Mangalore. The third program, when I visited Bangalore, it was failed due to some reason. But still, that product is still there with me, and I am thinking of, because I am a management guy, but I have some idea how can I take that product forward. And I will tell you, this is a great opportunity to everybody. Go to this site, look for the opportunities, startup, research and innovation. So that will help you to apply for this, and you can easily get some money for your research and innovation and startup at the same time. But they will guide you, and they will monitor you, and you have to show to that what extent you have completed the work. So that you have to show, and they will pass the fund also immediately. Yeah, based on your work performance. All of you, please make a note of this site: https://startup.karnataka.gov.in. I think some of you may be aware of this. I had an experience, very good experience. You faculty, since you are in Nagarjun College, Bangalore, also some of the other colleges even. Why can't you try? Even now also you can just go and check whether any proposals are available. Then anyway, now we are out at home, and let us start that work now only, since today's program is, I'm talking about startup initiative, research and innovation. I thought this is an opportunity I have to give it to you, all of you. Some of you may not be knowing about it. http://startupkarnataka.com. Visit that. Try to submit your proposals, and I wish you all the best for this particular startup program. And the other one is Niti Ayog, niti.gov.in. Atal incubation, Atal tinkering log, and see, one of my colleagues, Dr. A.P. Acharya, he was with me earlier in Sahyadri College, and he submitted a proposal in the year 2018, 18 or 19. For that proposal, hardly we get in India these incubation center, Atal incubation centers. When I visited last year, I visited in the month of February, January, February, I visited Sikkim, Manipal, our own Manipal, Sikkim. There they got one institute, they got actually this Atal incubation. In Bangalore, NITE is the only institute which got Atal incubation. In Bangalore, there are some institutions. I'm unable to name them, which are those institutions exactly. So there you can, what you can do, this kind of the startup activity you can do, and you can submit one proposal to Niti Ayog also. Go to the site called Niti Ayog. There are a lot of proposals available. See, I will tell you, people may think it is a rocket science and all that. I always say to my students and some of my well-wishers and my people who are seeking help from me, advice from me, I say in Kannada always, Tulu Kannada, just kallesidಬೇಕು, ಕಲ್ಲೆಸೆದು ಬಿಡುದು ನಮ್ದು ಕೆಲಸ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಗುದು ಬಿಡುದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That's it. Just you have to throw the stone, that's all. Then we'll see what will happen. Let it happen. Definitely. See, don't keep quiet, don't sit idly. You just try from your end. When you try, definitely it will happen. There is no doubt. You have to have the clear will and vision. Definitely it will happen. See, I'm an academician. I didn't think of starting a company, but being an academician, I thought from the beginning, teacher, always teacher. Teacher is a teacher who is teaching subjects. He is teaching, talking about what Philip Kotler said, what Robinson said, what Prasanna Chandra said, what Ibrahim said, etc., etc. But what is his job? He doesn't do other things apart from that. So that he has to come forward and do it. That is what he has to do. Another thing is actually, you all aware this, I'm talking about ACT Indian scheme. There are a lot of schemes, ACT India scheme, lot of schemes available. I think some of you might have attended FDP programs. Even this kind of FDP, whatever I have conducted, you should have submitted to the ACT and done this through ACT. So this kind of a program will also happen through ACT. Lot of programs, you have to visit the site and see to that, how can we apply for this kind of a program. So this also can be possible through this. The other one is ICSR, that is Indian Council for Social Science Research. They are also giving funds to the faculty members and the students to pursue their research and innovation in the different fields. And SERP is also there, Government of India. They are also giving lot of funds for this. And then what we call it as so then the last one is actually gov.in. So there is Atal incubation. About Atal incubation also, they are also giving lot of funds to the people around in India, and even people can apply what we call it as from the state level or central level also. They can apply all over, because I mean people Atal incubation is actually, they have tinkering lab, they have what we call it as Atal incubation centers, etc. So that also they can apply. So these are all the important things, important websites. I hope you have made a note of it. This is what I can say. It is an opportunity. I don't know how many of you knew about it, but now I have given you through this platform. I'm just, because as I told you in the beginning, I'm just motivating you. I'm a motivational speaker. This research, innovation and startup, I not showed you any product or something like that. I gave you the GAN. How can we be motivated? How can we inspired to come up with the startup? And through research and innovation, through effective research and innovation. This is the opportunity available for all of you. So you have to make a note of it. Very, very important aspect, my dear friends. Now, focus on research and innovation and faculty initiative in building innovation and research. I'll just go through that last few points. See, now when we talk about research, my dear friends, one of my boss, Dr. Franco, he was with me in Malaysia and he moved to US. He's basically from Australia. Now he is in Kenya, Africa. And I always talk to him, and when we interact with him, Dr. Franco Gandolfe, you can see, you can check him through LinkedIn. He is a great friend of mine. When I left Malaysia, I told Manipal is my spirit, my leader is my strength, because leader is always our strength. So that's why he is always my leader. I told him also, wherever you go, sir, take me along. Definitely I'll come with you because you will give me a lot of gyan in terms of research and finance. That is why research and innovation. Focus on research and innovation and faculty initiative in building the innovation and research. Now, first and foremost is academics expect research with rigor. Please understand this very important point for all of you. Academics expect research with rigor. This means, is it scientific? Did the educators follow benchmarks of quality laid down in the literature, and are its findings valid, reliable, and transferable to other contexts? That is one point. Second thing is practitioners expect research with relevance. You all aware? This means, does this research give the new ideas in solving the problem, invent new things, run my business better? See, don't starting the business alone won't serve the purpose. You have to invent the new things. That is what is important. Now, when we talk about policymakers expect research with responsibility. If I want to give the research with responsibility, that is why Dr. A.P. Achar got Atal Incubation Center. That is with responsibility. If you do the research, that with the added value. Policymakers expect research with responsibility. Then this means, is this research good use of taxpayers' money? Does it build or leverage national strength? Because we are all, see, whatever the money we get, my dear friends, these sites I showed you, all of you know, these sites is what? This money is our own money, taxpayers' money. They don't, government, they don't pay their own from their pocket. This is a taxpayers' money, my dear friends. So that is why we should know how to utilize this money properly. So that is very, very important. Policymakers come up with a lot of agenda. They come up with a lot of things. But how effectively we are making that research, that matters a lot. So that is why policymakers expect research with the responsibility. This means is the research good use of taxpayer. You have to make a good use of taxpayers' money. That is important. Does it build or leverage national strength? See, that has to reflect the national strength. Do we have the national strength in that? Do we really follow? Are we really serious about research? Are we the real researchers? That we need to find out. Finally, what will happen is citizens at large expect research with the resonance. This means that does the research help me live better, promise what we call it as promise a better than future for my children, because it has to help my children in the future uncover more wonders of the world we live in. So that is why in some it called as academic research must be rigorous, relevant, responsible, and relevant. Also resourceful. Please understand these 5 R's plays an important role when we talk about research. Don't do the research for the sake of doing it. Have an interest and do it. See, that is why some people, they will manipulate the data here and there. When they manipulate the data, what will happen is the research won't come out properly because they themselves, they're not confident when they're manipulating the data. So that is why whatever the data you have, don't manipulate. You just give as it is, and it will definitely give the good outcome for your life. That is why research is for life, not for the time being. It is for life. Whatever the research papers you published, people will see one or the other day. When you get the citation link, whenever you get the citation notification, the happiness which you have, is really great, because you think, oh, my research paper, my publication, my research project, people have identified, they think that there is something positive in it. It will definitely help people around, people who are doing the research in the field of personal financial management, entrepreneurship, startups, and all. This is what I would like to say. This is the final word to all of you. So as I was telling you, this is a motivational session to all of you, how to take up the research, how to take up a startup, and how to find the research in it, and how the innovation can happen. Innovation are not touched very much, but anyway, so this is all part and parcel of our life. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope I have completed my presentation on time, and there are 5 minutes left for the because as the time given to 2 to 4. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for the Q&A session. If you have anything to ask, you can put it in the chat box, or else you can raise your hand so that we'll unmute you. You can ask the question directly to the resource person. Sir, one question in the YouTube. So how safe is Bitcoins in the current situation?
Sir, I did not get you. What is that, sir?
Sir, how safe the Bitcoins in the current situation?
How
safe the Bitcoins?
Okay. You're talking about how safe the Bitcoin, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, as I said, people are making lot of money investing in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a digital cash. You all aware very well. You are aware. I will tell you. See, this is again depending on the mining. It is not that mining. You know what is the mining I mean? It is not that mining. What is happening here and there? It is not that mining. Means the people who are working in the maintenance of that Bitcoin, servicing the Bitcoin. I mean that process. See, investing in Bitcoin, I will tell you, it is as per the Indian government. It is they are not accepted it legally, but they are not given any statement that it is illegal. That is why people are using. People like me, you, everybody. I have stopped now. When I was in Malaysia, I used to use. I want to give you a couple of examples for this. I hardly find people lose their money in Bitcoin. I don't know. They're very intelligent when they're investing in Bitcoin. And some of my Sahyadri students, they used to get scholarship for sports and all that. They used to invest in Bitcoin. They used to tell me, sir, I gained some money from one. It has become low. Even African students in Malaysia, they used to tell me, sir, we don't spend money for the fees and all that. We don't ask from our parents. We just create our own money through Bitcoin. I'll tell you, sir, Bitcoin is a digital cash. I'm not going to, because see, since I told you, I'm not using it now. I used to do it in Malaysia, but when I was using in Malaysia, it was safe. But nothing is safe, you know, that is, risk is very high. You know what? Because it is again depending on the mining of the process, what is happening through Bitcoins. So that is why, that is what I would like to say, sir.
Yes, sir. And there is no questions from the participants, sir.
Yes.
Okay. We'll move on to the end of the final stage of the session. I'll request Ms. Pratyusha to give the vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you, Kiran sir. We have arrived at the closing phase of the session. So on behalf of Nagarjuna College of Management Studies, I thank Dr. Sharan Kumar Shetty for sharing his valuable resource of knowledge at the example of his own path traveled on the topic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I also thank a principal, Dr. Anandamma, for supporting and guiding for bringing up the webinar. Thank you, ma'am. I thank the HODs and faculties for bringing the webinar on show today. Sincere thanks to all the fraternities from different locations for joining and staying connected. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam. Dear participants, I have shared a feedback link in the chat box. Please fill the feedback. Thank you. And thank you so much, sir.